Howdy folks, my name's Casey. I'm here to take you on the rest of this adventure going down the Suwannee River. So I just got here and have kind of set up camp. Everything's just kind of shotgunned out right now. And we are going to go from here to the Gulf, and it looks like we might do the next 76 miles in 2 days. Only because looking at the maps, there's not a lot of places to sleep. Like if you look here, everything along this part of the river is all like mangroves, like tidal, and I'm not going to be able to camp there. So what I'm thinking about doing is doing 35-40 miles tomorrow, and then finishing up and going to Bill's Fish Camp, which is where I'm going to be picked up anyway. So if I go to Bill's Fish Camp, then I can get there Thursday night and then get picked up Friday by ACA. So that's the plan right now. But first, I'm going to eat some chicken and dumplings, get my tent and everything set up. Everything was kind of wet, so just drying out. All right, see y'all in a bit. There's something outside. Let's see what it is. Whatever it was making like a little growl right around the bend. I can't see. Oh, all right. Well, it's about 5 in the morning. There's something walking around, but it's on that side of the tent, and I have my rain fly on. I can't see it. It's got a little soft growl. Kind of like that. Like a raccoon, or I don't know what it is. But, yeah, 5 o'clock. I'm going to try and sleep for about another hour. It's really heavy dew right now. Everything's soaked out there. And temperature doesn't feel too bad. Probably 60, it feels like. But yeah, try and sleep just a little bit more. Hopefully this critter that's wandering around either comes into view so I know what it is, or it goes away. But it woke me up because it knocked down this big log back over here. Like it broke a heavy stick, and then that fell into something else. There's a lot of commotion up there. All right, well, let's sleep a little bit more. All right, well, it's 7 o'clock in the morning, so it's definitely time to get up. I almost got up at 5. It was too wet. Then I almost got up at 6, and I was too tired. And then there's some critter that crawled under my cot. I could feel it moving around under there. So, oh, there's my 7 o'clock alarm. But yeah, there's some critter that climbed underneath my cot, and I could feel it moving around. And I couldn't tell if it was a snake or like a mouse or what it was, but there's something like under there moving. So I didn't want to poke at it in case it was like a poisonous snake or something, but oh yeah. All right, nothing under the tent. Let's see under the cot. Nothing. Huh. Well, oh, whatever that is. Giant caterpillar. Little muncher. I'm gonna show off the amount of dew that came down last night. It's on everything. And then it's 49 degrees, but look how wet this thing is just hanging here. But yeah, the temperature at midnight was 74 degrees. So, all right, well, the moon's out again. Nice smoke on the water. Another beautiful morning. Man, it's gorgeous. All right, well, I'm gonna pack up and then let's get going. See if we can be on the water by 7:45. I'm moving pretty slow this morning. All right, well, it's right now 8 o'clock, which is better late than never. Let's go. Oh, what a beautiful start. All right, so as we get started, the sun's right for me to chat for just a second. But I wanted to talk about how the body deteriorates pretty quickly. on these long trips. So I did 50 miles on Monday, then a 50 miler yesterday, and this morning everything hurt when I woke up. Like my hands, my forearms, like my joint, especially my wrist joint, my right hand hurts. I got really bad blisters on my thumb joints again, like I had on the Everglades Challenge. And so like this isn't easy. It's fun, like I really enjoy it, but the breakdown on the body is real. And the dehydration, I let myself get dehydrated, that's my own fault. And so I'm still recovering from that. Taking salt tabs and drinking lots of water and trying to get there. I can feel it in my joints, like my knuckles are really tight. So, but other than that, we got 40 miles today. It's 8 o'clock. I'm hoping to get there by about 5. It depends on our speed. The river's gonna open up. Once that river opens up, the flow rate's gonna drop way down. Like it's narrow and it's flowing at like 1.5 to 2 miles an hour in spots, which is awesome. But out there, there's not gonna be much current at all. There's hardly any wind right now. We are gliding along at 5 miles an hour. Nice and easy. It's still gonna be a 10-hour day though, so trying to conserve energy a little bit. It's so pretty out here. The shoreline. We've been paddling along for 2 hours now, just soaking it up. Great. Some of these people's docks look so fancy. They look like state parks. Like that one right there with all the rock and the big building in the back and how mowed down the grass is. There's a boat launch. That's crazy. It just looks like a state park, but it's some personal property. Then there's this, which is somebody's property also. That's more my speed. Oh yeah, it's an inflatable raft. It's about to get stuck in the trees right there. Too bad. Well, I'm pretty much right at 3 hours from Branford. Orb Canyon Bridge, okay. I'll have to look that up in the future. All right, so right at 4 hours now, and I've maintained 5 miles pretty much the whole way. Haven't really stopped paddling for any breaks other than water breaks, which 30 seconds. So easily 20 miles into it now. I looked on the map looking for a place to get out, looking for a boat ramp or a spring or anything. And there's Hart Springs a few miles down here. So I think that's gonna be like my first and kind of like my only break for today. Yeah, so this is to the right is Log Landing Wildlife Management Area. And there are places that you can pull a kayak into and camp in here. I wasn't real sure when I was like trip planning if there was gonna be places to get in there. I was looking at satellite imagery and it just wasn't really, I wasn't seeing breaks like I've seen before where I was confident that there was a place to pull out at. But yeah, there's plenty of gradual slopes and places to go. So if you're doing a trip, this Log Landing WMA is definitely have spots that you can pull out on. Yeah, once you get in there, it's pretty level. There's like a level top up there. So, man, there's a spot right over here on the right. This is right before, like on the map, you'll see where it does this twisty S. It's real tight, but this spot right here is just before that. And that is a perfect camping spot. There's definitely been a lot of people that have done it there. It's open, it's wide, it's flat. But you can see we're just starting the top of that windy S portion of the river. This pontoon boat's awesome. They made a carport attachment and put it on there. It says Hart Springs at Gilchrist County Park. Oh, and there's a store here. Let's see how far we can paddle up in here. Ooh, it just got clear. Oh, there's a mullet down there. Big carp was down there. There's a sign that says park usage is $3 for people that are between 6 and 64. That's pretty cool. A lot of people up there. It's like a nice little spot. All right, I need to find a water spigot so I can get water. Let's see. I'd imagine there's a few of them here. Oh yeah, I didn't have to go far. There's one, the kayak's right there, and there's a water spigot. All right. Oh, this spring is really cool, actually. And there's even more back over there. Oh, this spring is beautiful. Oh, it's too bad you can't jump off this bridge. The swimming area. Look how big the mullet are down there. All right, well, that was a pretty cool little spring. I'd come back here maybe. But we got still another 10 or 15 miles roughly to go, so I'll have to check maps, but time to get back to it. All right, leaving the springs. I checked the maps. We got 9 miles to go to I-19. So we'll get there within 2 hours. Man, there's some big fish under here. Whew. Look at how wide the river is here. It's like a lake. So I just saw my first water moccasin of the trip. I saw it in the water and I was like, man, that stick really looks like a snake. Because all the other ones that I think the stick looks like a snake, it's just a stick. But this one, yeah, it was a water moccasin. It came within, like, right by my boat. So that was pretty cool. The first one of the trip. All that noise you hear back there is Camp Anderson. Right on the other side of the river, Camp Anderson is plenty of camping area right there. Stealth camp. When I was checking maps, I had this one marked as a potential campsite too under the power lines. And it does actually look good. The landing looks pretty easy. And there's flat, dry land right there. So this is the power lines just before 19. Actually, this right side, homeless people. Oh, thank you. All right, yeah, now I actually do have to find something. So what I thought was a boat launch on the other side is someone's private dock, and I'm not sure what I'm looking at over here. So yeah, press on. All right, it says look out for alligators. Always a threat. Oh, this is cool. Nice swampy area. And the springs is right over there. I can see clear water. That's a cool little Jurassic Park looking area. Well, it's a pretty nice little park, but I don't think I'll stay here. And too many people. So I'm pressed down river just a little bit. These cypress and tupelo trees growing together. Pretty nice. All right, so I was checking the maps, and about 3 or 4 miles down is another WMA, Wildlife Management Area, and hopefully there's a bank that we can get on down there. So that's where we're headed. Oh man, I just saw the biggest sturgeon. I've seen little sturgeon jump, but that one that just jumped up there was all of 4 or 5 foot. That thing was humongous. And the splash was like a double splash. It hit, and then there's a push, the pop up right after the first splash. Oh man, yeah, if that thing hit you, that would hurt. That's huge. I can't get over how wide this river is right here. I know it's gonna get wider, but it's crazy. It's fun. All right, so we're about 2 or 3 miles from I-19 bridge, and there's plenty of beachy spots. I'm not sure if that's the WMA yet. I haven't really checked the maps. I'll just go until there was a landing on the right. So once I see that, I'll know I'm in the WMA. But right now, there's plenty of places. Not nearly as scary as I first thought. I thought it was going to be like mangroves and stuff down here, but yeah, I don't see any mangroves. A lot of cypress and tupelo trees. All right, well, the good news is that we've knocked off 5 miles for tomorrow's run. So we're at 25 miles due tomorrow. Bad news is I have passed the WMA I was aiming for, and now there's not a lot ahead of me. So I'm gonna get to a spot to where I can't see any houses, and there's a good landing, and that's gonna do. There is Manatee Springs up ahead, so there might be some land out there near there that's not occupied. So I think that's the goal right now. So this is like the last little landing spot at Manatee Springs. I'm gonna hit this. And this is so far tucked out of the way, I should be good. All right, I'm gonna check out my surroundings here and just see what we're dealing with. So there's a trail right here. Doesn't look like it's well used. There's graffiti. Right, this is coming up into the parking lot. So there's some people hanging out in their vans. All right, I think we should be all right. I just want to see if there's any signs. All right, yeah, this is the path leading back to where I'm at. So it's pretty secluded. There's not a lot of people coming back here. Well, I thought this was going to be a good little campsite. But yeah, there's 5 guys and 1 girl came down, and they were drinking and having a good old time. So the sun's just now setting. Check out that view. But I'm about ready to set up camp, get myself situated in there. Got an early morning for the tides. We gotta get up at 5 and get out of here by 6. The low tide is at 11:11, and as long as we get there by noon, we should be good, just in that slack. So yeah, on the water by 6. We gotta be on the water by 6. The animals are making cool noises, but it's 5 o'clock. It's time to get up. All right. Oh, good morning, little wolf spider. Alright, so that's the light on the back of the kayak. It works pretty good. It's pretty bright. So get this thing packed up and get out of here. We got about 30 minutes left. Alright, so it's 5:50 in the morning, and we're setting off. And it's dark, it's calm, everything's flat, but I've heard warnings of the boat wakes. I guess they're pretty bad, and we shouldn't have a tide issue because we have outgoing tide all morning. So the flow rate should be good. It's just going to be the boat wakes that we need to watch out for. So hopefully we don't really get to those before sunlight, which is really only about an hour away, or it starts getting, you know, that break of light. So, all right, let's hit it. All right, look at that sunrise. That's beautiful. And then we have the moon right over here, shining bright. Nice clear path. Still no boats. Still early. Loving it. Ooh, one thing to note is I just paused to check maps, and I looked down and I was only going 1 mile an hour. Like, I slowed way down. So I don't know if the tide is affected here, like if we're at the very end of the upcoming tide and it's gonna start going back, but man, it is like not moving like it was yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. So, all right. Looking at the shoreline, I am glad that I stopped when I did last night though, because although it's not mangroves like I kind of thought when I was looking at the satellite imagery, it's definitely swampy back in there, and there's no land to really camp. Look at this though, man, this is gorgeous. But this is the life that I live, enjoying every minute of it. Check this out, the river looks like a lake. So wide now. Yeah, this doesn't even feel like a river anymore. It's so wide. I feel like I'm paddling across the little lake. Still maintaining about 5 miles an hour, so that's good. There's something about this time of day. The colors in the trees. Yeah, like the bright greens up front and then the faded greens. The far coast over there. I say coast, but shore of the river. It's so far away. We're about halfway there for the day, which is impressive. Held a pretty good pace. Well, halfway there mileage-wise. We'll see how long it actually takes us, but it's doing good. This little island right here, I think it was called Turkey Island or Little Turkey Island. There's 2 of them. I was looking at these as possible campsites, but when I looked at satellite imagery, I couldn't find anything that looked like a shore. And as I'm getting closer, I'm not really seeing anything that looks like a shore either. Let's see around the backside here. And there's definitely nothing to the left. That's all cypress swamp. Yeah, I think we got one of the very last spots to camp last night. There's these little cypress trees, and there appears to be a little sign. What's the little sign say? These 2 trees. That's cute. Out in the middle of nowhere. Nothing around here. Someone hung a sign on that. These 2 trees. Now, let's see what the wake from a cobia does. That's an actual fishing boat, so that's kind of what I was expecting to see down towards the mouth. We'll get a good idea of the waves here. Not much. About a foot, foot and a half maybe. Pretty mild. It really is some big water. Like, this is the Suwannee River. When we started, it looked like this. And this is where we're at now. It's like crazy. What a change. Looking at the shoreline, you can see that tide's definitely going out. I mean, the water's dropped almost 2 foot. It's crazy. But yeah, we're getting no assist by the water flow. It doesn't feel like anyway. Like it's a hard push to stay at 5 miles an hour. Like I'm using a lot of effort to do at 5 miles an hour. So yeah, if tide was coming in, this would be nearly impossible, I think. It'd be like 2 or 3 miles an hour travel. So as long as I can maintain this pace, which I should be able to until we get there, I don't need to save any energy for later. But if I keep this pace, that gets us to the town of Suwannee at about 10:30 to 10:45, just before the actual low tide. It's still an hour and a half away, but I can maintain this pace until then, hopefully. Well, I could imagine that if conditions weren't right, this could be pretty rough water out here. Like the winds are only 3 miles an hour and it's pretty calm. But man, if you're blowing at 10 or 15 in the wrong direction, this could be pretty choppy, I'm sure. The big river right there. Looking on the map. Oh, that leads out to the Gulf too. Okay. It's kind of like a Y out to the Gulf that way. And we're going out to the Gulf this way. Hey, look at that. It's the town of Suwannee. That's awesome. I didn't realize it was going to be right around the corner like that, but there it is. Looks kind of like Cedar Key. I've never been here. This is my first time. This is pretty. A neat little town, it looks like. Well, I'll tell you, avoiding boat wakes was not quite the issue I was expecting it to be. It's kind of like stop, drop, and roll. You know, you're taught that as a kid, but then you're never actually caught on fire. Yeah, I was prepared for it. It just never happened. So, one cobia fishing boat, and that was it. Yeah, pretty easy. You can see a little more of Suwannee built up along the coast. Cute town, sure. I'm excited to explore. I'm cutting through the town of Suwannee. Now this is the shortest way to the Gulf. If I go this way, it'll save me about a mile of paddling. You can see where the tide is, the high and the low level, because we're at low tide right now. High tide is, looks by the coloration on the panels there, about to the yards. All right, coming up to the second bridge. After this, there's nothing else to the Gulf, so we should be able to make it. I did just check my phone, and there is no cell service in this town. So I do need to get on some Wi-Fi then, because I do have some calls I gotta make. It's been a while. Right, we're on the back side of Suwannee, and now we're just going through the salt marshes, and this will put us out into the Gulf of Mexico, the Gulf of America. Oh, as we round this bend, there it is. Woo! We made it. We made it to the Gulf. Oh, it's low tide and I can't get through the shallows. All right. Well, behind me is the Gulf. The water's brackish. It's not really all that salty, surprisingly. I was expecting it to be really salty and it wasn't. But anyway, there's the Gulf right there. Texas is straight across. That was a pretty awesome run from Fargo all the way out to the Gulf. 225 miles, I think we did. So yeah, great run. If you like this video, if you like the content and the editing style, please hit the like button. And if you want to see more, hit the subscribe. There's definitely more trips in the future. But right now, I am going to paddle back. The wind's blowing me and the tide's still kind of going out. I need to get back to the town of Suwannee and get to Bill's fish camp. So thanks for watching, and I will see you all next time. All right, so I'm showered and feel so much better, but I am at Bill's fish camp, and actually Bill's fish camp is on the other side right there, and then there's that campground, and then this is the Anderson side. And the Anderson side has a row of rooms here and a row of rooms here. There's the kayak. But these rooms after tax are $66, which if you have 2 people, you know, split would be 33 bucks. But these rooms are so cheap because they're small, they're kind of primitive. There's no refrigeration in here, like no refrigerator. They do have an AC. And then there's a box heater over here. And then the bathrooms are, again, pretty primitive. But definitely better than being out in the woods for accommodation-wise. You got 4 walls made out of concrete, so safe from the critters and the people. And with AC, I don't really need AC this time of year, but yeah, that's nice. But oh, and when I got here, I met Dave, who's one of the co-owners to this place. He was outside, and we just started chatting, and yeah, he gave me a ride down to the marina and down to the other marina that has a restaurant attached to it. And he's been a big help, and I'm actually going to go hang out with him for a little bit right now. So anyway, that's Bill's Fish Camp, and it's really nice. The other side, the more expensive rooms are like 130 or 150, somewhere around there. They're really nice rooms. I haven't been in them, but just from the outside, they look a little more classed up than this one right here. And this whole place took a huge hit where the water, and there was 10 foot of water, or I think that's what he said, 10 foot of water at Bill's Fish Camp, which is down, elevation-wise, down just a little bit, but this place still got flooded out. Everything, this whole little town of Suwannee got flooded out. It's pretty sad. So, all right, well, that's it. That's Bill's Fish Camp. See y'all.